Hi, in this lesson we'll continue with the risk management process, and we will deal with risk communication. After risk treatment is concluded and the overall risk of the product considered as acceptable or tolerable, residual risks need to be identified. This can include unknown risks and uncertainties. Residual risk may be necessary for the function of the product or not technically or economically possible to tackle through design. Some residual risks need to be communicated to the consumers in order to consider that the overall risk level of the product is acceptable. Risk communication happens at two stages. The first one is part of the design process and will be the topic for this lesson. The second one is during use, after the product is in the market, and this will be the topic for the next lesson. Risk communication at the design stage is a risk treatment measure when the level of risk cannot be further reduced through design or protective measures. It is the responsibility of the product designer or producer to identify risk communication needs and develop them. Product information is an obligation for producers established in the General Product Safety Directive. Producers must provide information for use of the product in a safe way, information about residual risks that could not be dealt with through product modifications and inherent safe design. Product information is a tool for risk communication and requires the action of the user for the safe use of the product. It shall be given in the language of the country where the product is sold, and pictograms are often used to illustrate the message. Product information typically includes marking on the product or packaging. It's the pre-information that allows for free choice and decision on purchasing. It will also allow for traceability for enforcement authorities or if there is a problem with safety of the product when in the market. So product information includes marking, warnings on the product or instructions or packaging. For instance, the sign "Do not leave children unattended in a bathtub" to prevent the drowning hazard, or "Always use the retention system in a high chair to prevent falls," or any other warnings that are required for safe use of the product. And then you have instructions for use. Instructions for use can include instructions for installation, operation, inspection and maintenance, as well as the need for training. But instructions for use have to do with the interaction of the product and the user. Concerning product information, you can also find general safety guidelines in the technical report, in the part 5 of the technical report on general safety guidelines for childcare articles. It has a whole part dedicated to product information. When it comes to marking, for instance on playground equipment, it is unusual to have safety warnings on the product. Still, in this case, we have found one. Do you know what it means? This has to do with some fatal accidents that happened due to the use of helmets in climbing nets. And so in this case, for climbing nets, you can sometimes find warning signs. But warning signs should be tested for universal understanding, in particular when used without additional text. If the user does not understand the message, the signal is completely ineffective. When communicating risk, ISO Guide 51 gives us some guidelines on the use of terms safety and safe. We should avoid to use the term safe to define our products, as it can mislead the consumer and think that safe can mean without risk. So when you want to say that your product is a protective product, is better than say that it's a safe product. For instance, you can say protective helmet instead of safety helmet, or say protection harness instead of safety harness, or slip resistant floor instead of safe floor. This is a more correct way to approach the consumer, and we will not mislead him and think that he doesn't have any action to take to be part of the process of risk management. So, as key issues for this lesson, remember, risk communication at the design level is a key tool for safe use of products. Risk communication provides information on the product and its interaction with the environment. It allows for the free choice, risk awareness and appropriate behaviors. Product information is an obligation for producers under the General Product Safety Directive, and product information includes marking, warnings and instructions for use, installation, operation, inspection and maintenance.